What's up, y'all? So as usual, there's always just something that gotta attack my ripening fruits. Um, this is the Harumadhu from yesterday. It apparently wasn't completely eaten, but it was definitely attacked last night. We can see the claw marks there. Doesn't really smell too aromatic, but you can see that yellow coloring. Still has some green in there, so I assume it still wasn't completely ripened. The bottom is still white, the bottom and the back side. So it looks like the side that was actually exposed to the sun turned the most yellow. So we're going to get this refrigerated, and we're going to do some testing on it later since the melon is still mostly good. All right, this is a large melon. I assume it probably is not going to be sweet because the animal didn't finish it, but we'll see if the Brix numbers improve. It didn't naturally slip. The animal caused the melon to slip from the vine, so it definitely had at least 1 to 2 more days to ripen. All right, so that's that. See y'all in a little. All right, y'all, so here we are with Harumadhu a few days later. This is the one that was attacked by an animal and it wasn't eaten into, and well, it wasn't eaten into too much. So when I go out there and I see a melon that's attacked but it's not finished off, that lets me know that it's definitely not completely ripe. And also we can see some hints of green up here, some hints of white on the bottom. It looks a little bit more yellowish on camera, but in person you can see that this is actually a white color, starting to express a yellow color, but right here is an intense yellow color. This side was facing the sun, so I believe it had at least 2 or 3 more days left on the vine. Harumadhu seems to be a variety that takes a lot more days than Kajari requires, so that's just something to keep in mind. I'm gonna do a Brix test. I'm hoping for a score of higher than a 7. The white Harumadhus, they were measuring around 7, so just gonna take a piece off it right here. It's closer to where the animal ate into it, but I don't want to cut into where it was eaten into because I believe it won't measure a objective Brix level. So just cutting into it there. Very beautiful melon. If you can catch it at the right stage. There we are. So it doesn't really smell aromatic. This one smells a little bit better than the last one, I'll say that. But it's not a pungent fragrance. So I typically look for the fragrance to be very pungent. Here's a slice of it. Very beautiful melon, if you ask me. You can see it has a honeydew color to it. So we're just going to take a piece out of the center here. Very soft pulp, very soft. I'll take a piece here and oops. Yeah, I can taste that the sugars were still developing. Has a little more flavor than the previous one though. .8, so yeah, it was still ripening definitely, but that's 1% higher than the last one, which measured a 7.0. So it required about 2 more days for those sugars to completely develop. If you aren't familiar with how melons and watermelons ripen up, the sugars develop in the last couple of days of ripening. So the sugars developing and the color change go hand in hand. Typically, you'll know that your sugars are completely developed when the full color of the melon is achieved or the full color of the watermelon is achieved. With watermelons, it's kind of harder to tell the difference in colors depending on the variety, but with melons, you can see a distinct change in color. And as I said, it still has some green up here, which typically signifies that the fruit is underripe. And then right here is still white, which is the color that the fruit, that the Harumadhu is when it's still developing. So a completely yellow Harumadhu would be ideal. And then if you have a completely yellow one, you'll probably know that it's ripe with no green coloration in there. The stripes are also turning yellow, but they're in between yellow and green. This was harvested by the animal, so it was not much I can do it. Once it was off the vine, that was it. That's why I don't like to trellis these either, because if they fall early from the vine, because they start slipping, but just because it started slipping doesn't mean it's ready. So sugars are still developing while it's slipping, and that's why people tend to have bad experiences with Kajari also, because the Kajari slips and they make videos about it and they say, oh, this melon tastes nasty or something, but in reality, it's just harvested too early. Either people are picking them too early or they're trellising them and they're falling due to their own weight, causing them to slip. So essentially, this tastes good. It has a good flavor to it, but if you want something that's real sweet, it's gonna need to show an 11 or higher. So what I'm gonna do in the future, because I still have some Harumadhus out there, we can go take a look. I'm definitely gonna enjoy that one though, because it tastes very refreshing with a slight sweetness. So essentially what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start covering the melons with, I'm not only going to protect the bottom. I was happy to see that this Harumadhu that we just trialed just now, I was glad to see that it didn't have any insect damage on it, but it did have animal damage, and that's worse than insects if you ask me. But we can see here that I have another Harumadhu developing, and then right behind that is another Harumadhu, which I didn't even know was there until this morning. So I'm pretty sure there's plenty more Harumadhus out there, and they're still developing female blooms, as we can see here. And then I have another one right here. So they're all over, and have plenty of Harumadhus that I can further experiment with. But considering how sweet it, I see that it can achieve, the sweetness that it can achieve, I'm definitely considering growing it in future growing seasons, especially with the fruit yield that I've been getting. It's a high yielding variety, and I'm able to grow it in grow bags, unlike watermelons. So I'm definitely able to grow it in grow bags, and I'm getting an extremely high yield. The yield is almost unbelievable if you ask me. But like I said, it's very similar to Kajari. Kajari also has such an extremely high yield. So just taking out a piece here to test one more time. So the further we get to the rind, the less sugar. Showing 7.2 right there. But yeah, basically I'm gonna enjoy this fella here. I might as well cut this section off, because I'm not gonna eat it. That's where the animal attacked. Probably could take off some of the flesh that's furthest from the, see, this is kind of pulp right there. Here we go. Now this is the flesh right here. Very juicy flesh. You can see it has like a honeydew color to it. And these are related to honeydew, 6.6. So this is the section that the animal attacked. But it's very refreshing to me. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to protect the fruits. When I do find out exactly how I want to protect the fruits from the animals, I'm gonna include y'all in on that method, and so y'all can also protect y'all fruits in the future. But that's that. This Harumadhu is so far has a refreshing taste. Needs to turn completely yellow, unlike the Baker Creek pictures, which show them completely white with green stripes. You definitely won't enjoy it like that, I promise you. But nonetheless, very refreshing. See y'all in the next one. I also have some Madura out there. Well, we'll check that out later.